Yes, Dealer to Healer listeners, how we all doing? Great to have you with me today. Oh my God, today's guest is next level. What a wonderful, wonderful woman. I feel so blessed to have just had a conversation with her. You're going to be absolutely blown away. She's absolutely magnificent. So yeah, that's something exciting coming up after my little intro for my little podcast. Liam Brown here. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all having a cracking day wherever you may be listening, in your car, in your bedroom, in a small little shed, maybe laid down under some kind of small perspex piece of glass. Who knows? Wherever you are, maybe you're in a jar, a really big jar, then it'd be echoey. Hopefully you're not in a jar. Wherever you may be, welcome. So the Dealer to Healer podcast, we're all about transformation, about metamorphosis, about people stepping into the best version of themselves. And I am interviewing just some spectacular humans who can hopefully give you some insights into developing yourself, to making yourself better, to just becoming what you're put on the planet to become, what you should be doing with your life. If you got any of them questions, them burning questions, what should I be doing? Should I just be sat here in this office doing this little job, or is there something bigger for me? Is there something better? If you're happy sat in that office doing that job, then that's perfectly fine. But if there's some, grinding thing of discomfort and displeasure, I want to help you get out of that. I want this show to help you get out of that and step into your power to fulfill your potential. And these are some people on my show who've been doing that, who've taken that step, who've gone above and beyond and actually risked everything. But once you trust and once you risk everything and once you hand everything over and fully commit, everything's provided for you. It's that simple. Everything is provided for you. So this is the Dealer to Healer podcast, going from rubbish to magnificence, going from just walking along being unaware to having this awareness, this consciousness, this thirst for life, this eyes open, this being mesmerized by things that you're seeing and things that you're discovering and things that you're learning. So hopefully we can add some of that to your life on this show. Brilliant. So yes, today's guest is going to blow your mind. What an absolute superstar. So who am I? Well, I'm Liam Brown. I'm from Manchester in the north of England, and I've been on this path of self-discovery, self-development since 2011. Loads of mad shit happened to me. Kind of a couple of years up to that, I had depression. I was doing lots of drugs. I didn't know what to do with my life. I was lost. I was kind of, just a mess, really. And lots of things fell into place. And you can read all this in my book. I'm not going to tell you it all now. Go and get my book and read that. It's on Amazon. You can get it from today, the 11th of November. It's been released. You can get it on Kindle. You can get it on print. You can go and get it on Audible. Hopefully I've got it finished. So this is just a massive thing for me, and this podcast is an extra little thing to promote my book, to actually give people that I know a voice, to promote their stuff, to just show this enriching material of these humans that I know, and hopefully they can help people excel in their lives. And you know what? Even if you've got all your crap together, it'd probably just be a funny conversation that you might learn something from. Might be an interesting conversation. You think, oh, that was cool, that was funny. Whatever it may be, wherever you are in your life, I'm sure there's something. So, Dealer to Healer, a modern tale of a fucked up male. Yes, I was fucked up. Yes, I'm still a little bit fucked up. I'm always going to be a little bit fucked up, because I guess if I'm not, I've reached enlightenment, and then I might as well just be the Dalai Lama or something. But I'm sure he still makes a mess of some things now and again. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's just, pure, perfect. But I did hear he's eating fish. I know Paul McCartney wasn't happy about that. Anyway, let's get on to something else. Me book, go and get it. Go and have a look at it. Go and buy it. It's free for 5 days. What more do you want? Go and download it. If you get it for free, do me the favour of writing me a review. That would be awesome. Because you're getting it for free. I've been working on this for 7 years. So many hours you would not even imagine, for nothing. Just for a passion project. And now it's becoming a reality. And the amount of work and effort and energy I've put into this over the last 7 years, but for the last 3 months, it's just been intense. I've been in a bloody dark cupboard under me stairs recording an audiobook for about 6 hours a day, which has been just mentally intense. I came back to England in August with a nice suntan, and I'm just white. I'm just been stuck in the house. It has been raining non-stop in Manchester. If you're not from the UK, in Manchester, we get a lot of rain. What happens is it comes across the Atlantic, it dumps itself on Ireland, and then we get it after Ireland. So yes, it's a very wet place where I live. And being locked up in the house means, the skin's going almost transparent. So please buy me books so I can get away and go to India and get myself a little suntan again. So the book is just an adventure through life. I went on some mystical travels to Guatemala for the end of the Mayan calendar, and it just documents this whole thing. It was just my eyes being open to a new world. So it's fun, it's frantic, it's sad, it's moving, it's touching, it's all these things. But go and have a little read of it, go and download it for free. Please leave me that review, that'd be awesome. So just to confirm the quality of my book, I've got a couple of reviews. This one is from Christy Macbeth, who gives it 5 stars. Actually, 5 stars. I thought it was 6 then, but I've got astigmatism, so sometimes I see more than one thing. Here we go. Christy Macbeth: devoured this in 2 days and have thought back to it often since. I have no doubt that I'll return to it in the future. Dealer to Healer swings between agony and ecstasy as it follows Liam's journey as a self-confessed, fucked up male from a council estate to the Amazon. Heartbreak is balanced with laugh-out-loud moments throughout, all told with a classic Mancunian swagger and charm. Thank you very much, Christy. That was very, very kind of you. This next one is from Nicole Rivron. Heartfelt story of a man's journey through his struggles with a braveness to be himself, stepping out into the wild and reclaiming human connection. His path shows how you can change the direction of your life through positivity, humour, and a willingness to expose your deepest feelings to discover who you're meant to be. Thoroughly recommended. Nice one, Nicole. Nice one, Christy. That's some of me reviews. I'm going to keep giving you a couple of reviews just in these first 4 shows that I'm putting out today on the 11th of November 2019. This is the day I've been working towards for so long. So please, buy me book, review it, and come and get involved in this Dealer to Healer world that we're creating. This creation of better human beings, of more beautiful human beings, more conscious human beings, more aware human beings. We are trying to change the world, so let's do this. Yes. So getting over to my show today, this interview, wow. Actually, you will hear how nervous I am. This was the first interview that I ever did, and I was absolutely shitting it. So you can hear like the stammer in my voice. My heart felt like it was coming out of my chest because I was trying to work the computer and the sound. I'd also not done this before, and I'd done my little bit of research, but you can hear the absolute terror in my voice. Like, I am so nervous. And about halfway through, I kind of settled down and I realized, I was like, wow, my body was so tense during that first half an hour, and it just kind of melted to the couch. So if you're watching it on YouTube, you'll see my body just kind of soften as we go through the interview. If you're listening to it on the podcast, wow, my voice is so nervous at the beginning. So here we go. Hope you enjoy the interview. If you've got any feedback, any comments, please subscribe to the podcast on wherever you subscribe to your podcast, wherever you're listening to, and enjoy the show. You to bless my soul. Hello, welcome. This is the Dealer to Healer podcast. Today, I've got an amazing guest for you. She's been kicking cancer's ass for 20 years. She's had tons of operations. She's been going through this grueling set of medical practices, medical appointments for 20 years. She's been told she's only had a few months to live. She always keeps smiling. She always keeps going. She's beautiful. She's an inspiration. Every time I meet her, I leave feeling better about myself. And I just love sitting with her and laughing. We just laugh a lot together. So hopefully we'll bring some of this humor to today's show. So Here we go. Wynn Carter, how are you doing, my love?
Oh, hi, Liam. Lovely to be with you today, and great to be able to share my story with you.
Thanks for having us in your home. If you're listening on YouTube or you're watching, well, obviously watching on YouTube, we're recording it as well, and we're in Wynn's home today, so she's let us in. She lives in this beautiful property in Tabley Hall. How did you end up here, Wynn?
Oh, well, we moved here about 9-10 years ago, and just because we're so close to the town centre, and yet we're in the middle of nowhere, so it's fabulous, really lovely, surrounded by trees and a lake, and it's
like
gorgeous.
Something out of Peaky Blinders, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. Yeah, we love it. We absolutely love it. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So how are you? How's your health?
Well, I'm doing really great. Thanks very much. It's been a tough road, but at the moment, and I always touch a little bit of wood, I'm doing fantastic. Feeling good. Feeling great.
So you've been given the all clear?
I have been given, not the all clear, no.
But you're not going anywhere anytime soon?
Hopefully not. But I haven't been given the all clear, but they never give you that, really.
Yeah.
They just tell you, at the moment, remission, I'm stable. Nothing's happening at the moment, but 3 monthly scans. They're always a bit scary, but, for the last year, they've been great.
And what do you do after you scan?
Well, I always go off to the south of France or drink champagne.
I do be drinking champagne.
As soon as I get the news, whether it's good or whether it's bad, I have champagne.
Perfect.
Always.
Why not?
Always. And that's always been the thing I've done from the very start, Whether it's good news or bad news, I take it on the chin and I deal with it.
Yeah.
And with a smile.
Amazing. So, first, how's your summer been? What have you been up to?
My summer, I haven't done an awful lot this year, apart from, well, having said that, I bought myself a Volkswagen camper van.
Typical hippie.
And I've had a ball. I've been to Cornwall, I've been to Norfolk, I've been to Wales, and I've, got driving again because, as you'll hear throughout my story, I lost my leg through cancer a couple of years ago, and it's taken me some time to get back to driving, but now I'm driving perfectly well with my left leg, driving a normal automatic, but with my left leg.
Awesome. So is that kind of giving you your wings?
Yeah, I've got my freedom back, because I didn't like that, and I was in a wheelchair for quite some time, but now I'm like free again, so I'm very happy.
Amazing. So we'll get to that. So we'll talk more about having the leg amputated in a little while. First, just take us back 20 years ago when you first got diagnosed with cancer. 20
years ago, I was at work, and I had a fabulous career. I was a sales and project manager for an engineering company and was loving it. And one day, sat at my desk, I felt a lump in the back of my right leg, in my thigh. And at first, I thought I was sat on a little marble or a stone or something, and got up to sweep it off the chair and sat back down again, and the lump was there. Then I realised it was a lump in my leg. Mm-hmm. So went to see the doctor, and it all started from there. The doctor had a look at it, brought another doctor in, and they both decided I'd need an MRI scan. Had an MRI scan, and a week later I was diagnosed with, and this is the word, malignant histiocytoma, which is a sarcoma cancer in the muscle.
In the leg?
In the leg.
Right.
And it's a very rare cancer, and they don't know why you get it, but I did. And it was a huge operation from just below my knee into the groin. They removed all the big adductor magnus muscle and all the...
So you had an operation pretty much straight away?
Oh, within a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was, when they came back from histology, it was very aggressive. So I was very fortunate as well to be introduced to a fantastic surgeon called Mr. Paul. He's an orthopaedic surgeon.
Mr. Paul?
Yeah.
Good name, isn't it?
Ashok Paul. Yeah. And he's an orthopaedic surgeon and a top guy from Manchester University, Manchester Royal. And... he was assigned to me because not only was he an orthopaedic surgeon, he is a specialist in sarcoma. And those specialists were 20 years ago, very hard to find. So, and he is still with me now. He's looked after me for the whole 20 years.
Oh, he's still
and become a great
the same guy. Oh,
yeah.
Right, because I've heard you talk about Dr. Paul.
So he did the first operation, 8-hour operation.
Yeah.
And it was quite groundbreaking, really. Then it was quite rare. And he asked if other surgeons could come in and watch him do the operation, which I agreed to. And had the op, very successful. And then I had a fantastic break. It took me about 6 months to learn to walk again because I didn't have any muscles in the upper leg. But
so
as
you were
far
in a wheelchair then as well?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But then as far as cancer was concerned, I had a break of 7 years.
Right.
No cancer at all.
I just had a break from cancer.
Yeah.
It's a 7-year break.
Yeah.
7-year itch.
Yeah. And then it came back in 2007.
Same place?
Same leg, a little bit further down.
Right.
And since then, it's come back every couple of years, which has been quite tough. And each time I've been to Mr. Paul and he's cut more of my leg away until the last time there wasn't enough leg to save anymore. So very sadly, I had to have it amputated above the knee. So it's quite high up. But I'm still here.
And how long ago was that?
And that was exactly 2 years ago.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it metastasized to both lungs. Metastasized just means it spread to both lungs. And I was given by my oncologist less than a year to live.
And when was that?
That was 5 years ago.
Boom.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah. That was 5 years ago. I was given, sat in the oncologist's office. He said, "You've got far too many tumours in both lungs. It's inoperable." I still had my leg then. It came back in my leg later. But he said, "There's nothing we can do, but we can give you chemotherapy." And I was sat in the office. He gave me all the paperwork for chemotherapy. And I told him I wasn't going to go down that road. I was going to go down the holistic road.
Okay, so let's just backtrack a little bit here. Where did this kind of approach to going down a more holistic route come? Was it from the fear of having chemo, or was you starting to learn and read up on certain things?
Yeah, I think I was beginning throughout this journey of cancer. I think I've done an awful lot of reading. And I came to the conclusion, a personal conclusion, that for me, chemotherapy wasn't the road I was going to go down. I didn't want, personally, that poison in my body. I felt that I'd read an awful lot about holistic practices and healers. And that's the road I decided to go down. My oncologist tried to persuade me not to. Of course, he's doing his job. But I refused chemotherapy.
Amazing. And you're still here?
Yeah.
So before you made this decision to go down the holistic route, were you going for healing before this? Was you into holistic therapies? Was you into spirituality? What was the?
I've always been a little bit spiritual, always, and I've always believed in the power of me, really, and being able to overcome things personally, and the power of positivity. And I truly believe that having a positive attitude has got me where I am today.
Totally.
Really, truthfully believe that.
Yeah.
And also looking outside the box. When you're given less than a year to live, it certainly makes you think about what you want to do with that year. And I certainly didn't want to sit in a hospital being pumped with chemotherapy. Thank you.
Being sick for the last year of your life. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I decided that I'd rather go away on holidays and do all the things I wanted to do rather than have chemotherapy. And that is when I came across a healer that changed everything for me. I was introduced to a healer in Southampton that evidently could shrink tumours.
What was his name?
He's called Andrew McKellar.
Okay, he's in Southampton.
He's in Southampton. And I thought, what have I got to lose? He sounds like an amazing guy. I'm going to give him a call, which I did. And to my joy and delight, he called me back immediately when I told him that I'd been given less than a year to live, because evidently he had huge waiting lists of people, not only with cancer, but with all sorts of ailments. And he said, can you come tomorrow? And I said, absolutely. So I jumped in my car at 5 a.m. the next morning and drove myself to Southampton.
Where do you live?
I live in Cheshire.
How far is it to Southampton?
It's just under 400 miles.
How long does that take? About 6 hours?
Well, it's 350 miles ish. It takes me 4 hours to get there.
4 hours.
Door to door.
See, that's a commitment.
And
most people would be like, "Oh, I'm not going out of Manchester. I can't even get my friends to go to Lancaster. It's an hour away."
And I knew he would only give 15 minutes healing.
So you drove an hour. You drove 4 hours for 15 minutes.
4 hours for 15 minutes healing.
Wow.
And I arrived at his house, which was on a normal, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting about him.
You expected him to be in a castle wearing a cape with long grey hair and
I'd heard so many amazing stories about him. I thought he was going to be like a wizard or something. And when I arrived and I went into a little waiting room, he'd got like a little like a little house on the side of his house that he used for his treatment room. And when I walked in there and he opened the door, it was like looking at an Elvis lookalike.
Right.
And I instantly liked him.
Yeah.
And he was nothing like I expected. He looked like Elvis. He even had winkle pickers on and tight trousers. And I thought, where on earth have I come? You know? And I went into this room and he's a man of very, very few words. He doesn't want to know your life story. He's there just to do his job. And I briefly told him that I had cancer in both lungs and it was terminal. And he just placed his hands on my shoulders and on my back. And I remember sort of going into this like deep meditation, and I felt like I was in a white room, in a white robe. And I know this might sound crazy to a lot of people, but it's exactly what happened to me. And I've never felt so relaxed in my entire life. And the heat from his hands went through my body like a hot iron. But it didn't burn. The heat was intense. And it was like that for 15 minutes. And then I sort of came out of that when he sort of shook me at the side. I sort of came out of a bit of a trance and sat there for a minute. And I just felt totally relaxed and at peace. And that was my very first experience of Andrew McKellar. And
so your first healing experience as well?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow.
And it was amazing. I left and I went to pay him, which was another. I'd driven down and I'd stopped off to draw some money out of a cash machine because I thought he's so amazing. He's going to be hundreds of pounds. And I drew £200 out of a cash machine and wondered whether I'd have enough. And because I didn't dare ask him on the phone, how much do you charge or anything like that. You know, I just wanted to go. And I said, how much do I owe you? And he said, £20. And I said, £20? And he looked at me and he said, you thought I was going to ask you for more than that, didn't you? I went, oh, absolutely. And he went, no, it's just £20. He said, I have a gift and I want to give that gift to people that need my gift and need my help. And
regardless of how much money they've got, yeah. Absolutely.
And so that was it. I paid my £20. I came out. I sat in, made an appointment for the following week. Decided that I would stay in a B&B and have 2 healings the next week, which I did. I drove back. I had a healing, went and stayed in a B&B, had a healing the next morning, and then drove back. And I did that for 3 months.
Right.
Every single week.
So how was you feeling? What was did you feel a change?
I felt I felt well. I felt great. And in between that, I went to the south of France, and I have a wonderful girlfriend. Well, I have lots of wonderful girlfriends, but one of my girlfriend's sons...
She's not lesbian.
No, sadly. No, I'm joking. She'll kill me. I won't mention her name. But anyway, Pammy's son, Oliver, has a house in the south of France and heard that I'd only got less than a year to live and offered me his villa to go for a week, all expenses paid, with as many girlfriends as I wanted to take. So I took 6 of my best girlfriends and spoilt for a complete week at his beautiful place. And it was a fabulous holiday, but it was bittersweet because I was terminally ill, and I thought I wouldn't live the year. He wants his money back now. I'm still here 5 years.
Have you not been rinsing it for 5 years? Still only got a year.
He won't let me go anymore. He won't let me go anymore. But anyway, yeah, bless Oliver. He gave us this amazing week.
Yeah.
And then it was also my birthday, and the week after my birthday, I was going for my 6-month lung scan. And this was going to tell me that my tumours had grown and that they'd spread, and that, maybe I only had 9 months left now or something like that. And to my absolute astonishment, I was sat in the oncologist's office and he pulled up my scans on screen and he said to me, "Where have you been having treatment?" And I said, "I haven't been having any treatment." And he said, "Well, all the little tumours have shrunk. They've gone."
Like, gone completely, no trace of them?
Gone.
Wow.
All the little tumours are not there. And I said, "I've been going to see a healer." And I said, "I know you probably, being a scientist, don't believe in healers, but I do." And I put my faith in the hope that the power of him and his hands and the heat would shrink the tumours. And he said, "Well, they have. It has."
Amazing. And what was his take on healers?
His take on it, he wrote his name down, he wrote everything down. His take on it was, "Look, Wynn, we are scientists, yes, as you've just said, but we don't know everything. We really don't know everything. And I'm telling you here now, all the little tumours have gone."
Wow.
And I said, "Okay, well, if they've gone, can I now have surgery and remove the other tumours?" Because there was 3 big tumours in one lung and 2 tumours in the other lung. And I said, "Well, I want those out now. Can I have them surgically removed?" And he said, "If you can find a surgeon that will do them, then I will agree with it."
Right.
So I did. I found an amazing surgeon called Dr. Krysiak.
Yeah.
And again, through Mr. Paul and my oncologist, we all agreed that it would be well worth doing open lung surgery.
Okay.
So I went in hospital and I had again, a very big operation. Open lung surgery is not an easy operation. They, cut around the back of your back and they break your lungs. They break your ribs to get to your lungs.
Right.
But he took out the tumours in the left lung first. And I came home to recover, and it wasn't very nice, I have to say, but I got through it.
Yeah.
And 6 weeks later, I had the other lung done.
Oh, so you had them back to back pretty much?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And so within 6 weeks, I was back in hospital, and I had out the other 2 tumours out the other lung. So I had all those removed. And then I was great for...
So were your lungs clear of tumours after that point?
Yes,
completely?
they never say you're clear because...
It could always be a scrape.
My oncologist explained it in a wonderful way, I think. And he said to me, your lungs are like a sponge that you wash your car with, one of those big yellow sponges with lots of little holes in, and the little tumours can hide in all these little holes. And he said it's like an apple tree. He said we can take off the apples of the tree, but we're still left with the tree. And what's going to happen next year, maybe we're going to get some more apples.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good analogy of explaining to me.
Yeah.
So they're never going to not be there. I'm still classed as terminal.
Yeah.
But it's when they next pop up.
Okay.
And when they pop up, I'll deal with them. But
Kick their ass.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, kick ass. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, and then I had 2 great years of feeling fantastic. And then...
How long did it take you to recover from those 2 operations?
I would say 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 months.
Yeah.
And then I felt fantastic. And then everything was fabulous. And I had, I would say, a good 18 months of feeling good. And then it came back in my leg again.
Right.
And this time the leg couldn't be saved. So... it was discussed about having an amputation, which I have to say was probably my biggest challenge of all. Yeah. Losing a leg.
And what were the options at the time?
There were no options.
It was
I would die.
Or...
Yeah. So there were no options, really, Liam. It was a case of Mr. Paul saying, we're going to have to take your leg off, Wynn, or you're going to die.
Okay.
And it was as black and white as that, really. So there was no choice.
Yeah.
So I came home, discussed it all with my family. My family came back with me to see Mr. Paul. We all discussed it. And, we came to the conclusion that there was no other option. It would have to be an amputation, and it would have to be quite high up, and there was a chance that I may never walk again, depending on how far Mr. Paul had to take the leg off in order to clear the cancer, really, and to keep me safe. So within 10 days, I was in hospital, and I had my leg amputated, and that was massive for me.
Yeah, how was you like making the obviously kind of decisions sort of made for you, isn't it? It's like the leg comes off or you die, but sort of leading up to knowing you were going to have the leg off, what come up for you mentally and challenge wise?
It happened so quickly, really. I mean, I didn't have a long time to think about it, 10 days, and I was in hospital. I wanted to live. I want to live. That's the main thing.
Why do you want to live?
I love life. I love my family. I love my friends. I love life. I love everything about being here. Yeah. And I didn't want to die. Yeah. And so it was, okay, if that's going to be it. And, I love fashion. I love clothes. I was thinking, what am I going to look like? I'm going to be disabled. I'm going to be in a wheelchair. A million things going through my head.
Just get a gold one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've got a gold leg.
Bet you have.
I have. And I've got a gold walking stick.
Brilliant.
And if you're going to do it right.
Yeah, do it in style, why not?
And anyway, so yeah, I just love life. And it was a case of, and I love my children. I've got 3 grandsons. I've got 2 beautiful sons, John and Rob. And I've got 3 gorgeous grandsons, Max, Miles and Mason. And then my life and a beautiful daughter-in-law. My daddy's still here. He's 90. And
You've got to outlive him.
Absolutely. And, so I wanted to live. So in I went and I had my leg taken off. The worst part about that was actually seeing it for the first time with no leg. Not seeing it. Yeah. Not seeing it. I think that was my biggest shock.
Yeah.
I cried. When they pulled the covers away and there was no leg there. I cried, I have to say. Broke my heart. But then I thought, right, get on with it, Wynn. This is like you've been given another chance.
Yeah, I remember coming to see you in hospital and you were just laughing. You were having a good time. You were telling me stories about what your grandkids had been saying about it because they they wanted to see the leg, didn't they?
They did.
They were like, where is it?
Where is it? Absolutely. And they asked me all sorts of questions like, where's it gone? Have they buried it? Did it have a funeral? All those things. And
what did they do with it?
They incinerate it. I asked, actually. And
the grandkids want to see it.
I asked, where is it? Oh, it's well gone. Yeah. And I had to laugh because I had visions of my leg in the back of a van going down the road to be incinerated. So you really do have to laugh. It had its last journey somewhere. I don't know where, but it did.
Yeah.
But you have to laugh about it because you can curl up in a ball, and don't get me wrong, and anybody that's listening to this podcast, you will have, if you're ever going through anything similar to me, you will have days, moments, weeks of tears, hiding under the duvet. I never ever thought, why me though? I never ever thought that. Why not me? It happens to so many people. But you will have moments when you're down. And I've been in a black hole and I didn't think I'd come out. Mm-hmm. But I did. And I think that's it. Just knowing that take a day at a time, tomorrow is going to be better than today. And if it's not, go under the duvet, have a cry.
Yeah.
Shut the world out. But then think about how far you've come.
Yeah.
And I think you'll be fine because I'm fine.
It will pass. Everything passes. Everything will change.
This too shall pass.
Yeah. So when you're in them dark moments, obviously you've got your family driving you to get better, to get your mental health better. Yeah. What are the other things that are driving you? Where are you taking bits of wisdom from? Like, is it teachers or things you're watching, or what is it? Books?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I listen to a lot of inspirational people. I listen to Muji, which actually, Liam, you introduced me to.
He's a main G, Muji. Check him out. Listen to his stuff on YouTube.
Absolutely. And
you want to cuddle him as well. He's got a cuddly face.
He has. I love him. Absolutely love him. And you introduced me to him, and Georgia did, and gave me a wonderful book, which I read. And you came back from seeing him with beads for me and inspirational things. And I'd always, sort of listened to different people. Eckhart Tolle is another one of my great, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, different people that really inspired me and made me who I am, I think. Yeah. And so I came out of hospital with a really positive mind. And then the journey started to get better. I had another big knock a year after I had my leg off. The cancer came back again. It doesn't want to leave me alone, this cancer. It came back again in my lung.
Yeah.
And that was it wasn't a year after I had my leg off. It was about 6 or 7 months after I had my leg off. And I just went for a routine lung scan and it was back again.
Right.
And there was 2 tumours there that were quite big. And that knocked me for 6 because I was just about to start rehabilitation and to learn to walk again and everything. And so it knocked me. I did go back in hospital again to the wonderful Dr. Krysiak, Mr. Krysiak. And he removed those tumours again with open lung surgery. So,
okay.
So, touch wood again. Been fantastic since then.
And how long ago was that?
And that would be now a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had a scan in August, and we're in September now, and stable.
Yeah.
Nothing there at the moment, and boom. I'm great.
Amazing. So going back to the legs are a massive thing. Like a lot of people who've had things amputated struggle with it mentally.
Mentally,
but
yeah.
Also, like physically, what was your rehabilitation like? How did
it was
that go?
hard. It was a lot harder than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, without my team at Pace, and Pace have been amazing. They're in Stockport, and they are wonderful. And Howard, who has made my prosthetic leg, he's a genius. He's fantastic, and all the girls there, Caroline, they've just been. Caroline's brilliant.
So these physios,
they're physios and prosthetists, and Rosie, they've all just given me so much support. I did need a little bit of counselling, again by a wonderful girl called Sue Turner, and she helped me climb out of that black hole.
Yeah.
Which I think there's something wrong with you if you didn't sort of go into some kind of a depression when you've lost something as huge as a leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I guess just everything becomes, going to your kitchen,
making a cup of tea
in your house. Yeah.
Everything. Going in the bathroom, going in the shower, from your wheelchair to a seat in the shower, and all the adaptions. Now 2 years on, it's become second nature. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
I get up in the morning and I put my leg on and I'm off, and I'm walking normally, driving again, everything. But that has been a hard road.
Yeah.
But a really positive one because of all the people that have helped me. I couldn't have done this on my own without my family's support. They've seen me on good days and bad days, and they've all helped me.
Yeah.
No end, with even shopping, you take for granted so much when you just get up from a chair and walk.
Yeah.
You just take everything for granted. But when you haven't got a leg, it's like everything's a little bit slower. You can't jump out of bed. You just can't. You'd fall over. And I did have a couple of falls as well. Yeah. I fell once while I was still in hospital, having had my leg off. That was a pretty bad fall, which is inevitable, they say, because your brain hasn't quite got in that you haven't got any leg.
Because it still thinks it's there. You still feel it, don't you?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you're still feeling it now?
Oh, completely.
How long ago was it?
2 years. And I still feel as if I can still feel my foot right now as I'm talking to you. It's still there. I can still wiggle my toes that are not there. It's the weirdest feeling.
Yeah. Does that ever go?
I think they say over years, it gets easier. But I've unfortunately suffered from horrendous phantom pain.
Yeah.
Some people have it worse than others. I've had it very, very bad. Some days I can't get out of bed with it. It's so painful. But I'm going back to my healer, and he's helping me in Southampton. Yeah. And
so did you have a break from him then?
Yeah, I did.
So what's made you go back?
Phantom pain.
The phantom pain.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And also the fact that I'm trying to keep the tumours at bay in the lungs. So. Yeah. But both of them, but more recently, it's been please help me with my phantom pain. If I'm being absolutely honest, it hasn't. It's not helping with the phantom pain, but you've got him back working on the lungs. Yeah. But, it could be helping with the phantom pain, I'll give anything a try. Apart from piles of drugs. I won't have piles of drugs. Yeah. A bit like chemotherapy. This is called dealer to healer. You're supposed to have had drugs in the past. Just pharmaceuticals is fine. I really haven't, Liam. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm really boring. Just healing. I'm just the healing segment of this podcast. She's just pure white light, everyone. She's pure white light. Absolutely. No, I haven't had any drugs. I've had lots of drugs, pharmaceutical drugs. I've had gabapentin, I've had morphine, I've had all sorts of painkillers, but I don't take anything now. Yeah, you're off everything. Yeah, I'm off everything now. I've weaned myself. And that took some time to wean, because I was on such strong painkillers after so many lung operations. And I was on a lot of very strong tablets, and then trying to get off them was enormous for me. Yeah, because it creates the withdrawal symptoms were awful. Yeah. But I'm pleased to say I'm off them all now, but my phantom pain's a lot worse. But, I became like a zombie a little bit on them all. So I'd rather, be off them. But now you're feeling a lot cleaner, a lot clearer being off all that stuff. Absolutely. Yeah. My head's a lot clearer now. I'm back to feeling more like Wynn again. Yeah. Where I was a little bit zombified. Yeah, kind of lose yourself a little bit, like... Yeah, I felt a bit out of it, really out of it, and I'm not anymore, so I feel good again. Awesome, that's amazing. Just one question that's come up in my head. So go on. So, obviously you've got not got this leg anymore that you can still feel. Yeah. So, when you're out and about and you really want to kick someone up the arse, does it mean you can do it and not get in trouble? I like that. I wish I could. Have you ever tried it? Imaginary. Have you ever tried it? I'm going to kick you, right? You should try that now. Actually, now you've mentioned it, I think I will. Kick him in the arse, that guy who's just cut me up in the supermarket. Absolutely. I'm not encouraging anyone to kick anyone up the arse unless you don't have a leg, which you can imaginarily use. So... I remember when you were having your rehabilitation with your leg and stuff, and which I thought was really, really inspiring, really interesting, was that you set yourself a target of being a model on this runway. I did. I'd seen you be a model when you had both your legs. Yes. It was at the Concorde place at Manchester Airport. Yes. And then I remember you saying, I want to be able to walk on this next fashion show for Maggie's. Well, actually, before we get to that, just tell us a little bit about what Maggie's is. Oh, Maggie's. I can't say enough about Maggie's. Maggie's is one of the most fantastic places. It's attached to the Christie Hospital in Manchester, and it opened maybe 3 years ago now. Yeah, 2-3 years ago. And I was first introduced to Maggie's by the most amazing woman called Margot Cornish, and she organised Maggie's on the Runway to raise funds for the Maggie's Centre. The Maggie's Centre is for people to just walk in, have a cup of tea, piece of cake, talk to people. It's not just for patients, it's for families, it's for friends, it's for anybody that is touched by cancer. Okay, so it's just people, anybody. Cancer, so you could go in there because you know me, or you've had a family member that's got cancer, and you need to talk to somebody, and there's always somebody there to talk to. Yeah. Counsellors or just volunteers? Or it's a charity, right? It is a charity. Yeah. So, if anybody's got any spare money, give it to Maggie's, because it does amazing things. We'll put a link to that on the show notes. So if obviously you've seen my other guests on the show who have been bigging up their little plugs and things that they've got going on.
Wynn isn't a yoga teacher or a gymnast or anything, but I guess what I'm trying to say for you is, if you had something to plug, it would be Maggie's, to support Maggie's, to give some money to them, because they're doing amazing work.
They do amazing work, and it's all voluntary.
Yeah.
So, in order for them to keep their doors open for people like me and for people like you or anybody that's touched with cancer, then, they need funds. And we did Maggie's on the Runway, which was amazing. And the fantastic Rick Astley,
I knew he was going to come into it,
was our star of the show. And of course, I was one of Rick's chicks.
Jesus.
One of Rick's chicks. And walked down the runway holding his hand. And we raised lots and lots and lots of money. And I'd done that 2 years. I did it the year before I lost my leg.
Yeah.
And then when I lost my leg, that was my target. And Margot very kindly invited me to be part of it again, but asked me, to be on Rick's team again. And
Rick's Chicks.
And I was one of Rick's chicks, and it was called Rick's Chicks.
Was it?
And we had a couple of fellas on it as well, so it was Rick's Chicks and fellas. But yeah, and we did it, and I walked with my new prosthetic leg, and that was the aim. Because when we first started rehearsing, I was still in a wheelchair, and I couldn't walk because I didn't have my leg. So all the team at Pace made it happen.
Yeah.
Worked with me to walk with my new leg so that I could do that day Maggie's on the Runway. And some of the girls from Pace all came to support me. Some of the nurses from the hospitals that had looked after me when I had my leg off came to support me. And I walked with my leg.
Amazing.
And it's all on it's all on YouTube. You can actually see this golden leg walking down with Rick Astley.
Not on its own, she's attached to the leg. It's not just the leg. We're not letting legs go everywhere willy-nilly.
No, I'm attached to the leg now. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, because I was in Sitges, wasn't I? And I sent you a picture because Rick Astley was like playing there. And I sent you a picture. I was like, he's following me around. Rick Astley's following me around.
Yeah,
I didn't go and see him.
Fabulous, Rick. Yeah, he's
he does a lot of good charity work, doesn't he?
Well, he's actually Maggie's ambassador now. So Maggie's made him his ambassador. So he's a fabulous guy. Inside and out, he's wonderful. He's he really, really does do a lot for charity and quietly does it and supports Maggie's.
Can you give us his phone number for some of our mates' mums? Love it.
Top secret.
I think my mum loved him.
Yeah, and top secret. I'm keeping him for myself.
Dr. Hilary Jones remember Dr. Hilary Jones off GMTV?
Yes.
She was in love with him. I was like, why'd you keep going out with scumbags then? Throughout all the stuff with the leg, and leading up to the thing on the runway, you must have come up against massive challenges mentally. You must have come up at points where you thought you weren't going to be able to do it.
I did.
What got you through all that?
My family.
Yeah.
I moved in with my son Rob and his wife Sarah Jane, and stayed with them for a few months, and they got me through it. They helped me. And John, without my family, I don't know what I'd have done. They got me through it. And I did, at that stage, to the run-up for Maggie's on the Runway, I was trying to learn how to walk. I was trying to come to terms with not having a leg. I was trying to come to terms with not being able to do what I used to do. I'm active. I'm always doing. And I found I just couldn't do that, just couldn't get up and do that. And I did fall into a bit of a black hole. So I do thank Sue for coming to the house, actually, and giving me some counselling.
Okay. And was that from Pace, or was that someone from Maggie's?
That was from Pace.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
are they a charity as well, or are they?
No,
is that private?
It's private.
Okay, we'll put a link to that as well on the show.
Yeah,
notes.
Fantastic, because anybody who has lost a limb, they're first port of call for me.
Top dogs,
yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think all those, it's not just been me, it's been a huge team, it's been friends, it's been when you're feeling down, it's just text messages, it's just the love of people. And I love friends.
You was
I love
like a
people.
Ferrari, and you had all these mechanics around you to sort you out and get you to that finishing line.
Yeah, and
amazing.
They all did, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I've really gone on from strength to strength.
Yeah.
Since then, you know, and I'm walking everywhere now without a stick, apart from Knutsford, where I live.
It's a bit of a walk to the village, isn't it?
It's cobbly. It's a bit uneven, and I usually have a stick around there because it's just safety, really.
Yeah.
Or I have John on my arm, my son.
Good work, John.
Yeah, he helps a lot.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm doing great.
You feel like you've properly got your freedom.
Yeah, I've got my mojo back now.
So I've obviously I've been touched by cancer, not like myself, but my mother died from cancer like 12 years ago now. It was 12 years ago, 17th of September. So me and my sister went to Fletcher Moss, had a little nice day out for we always, birthdays, and we call it Death Day outing. Yeah. Me and my sister.
Yeah. Lovely to celebrate her life.
Yeah, just try and do something. Just,
be together.
She's there in spirit, and she knows that her son and her daughter are together, doing something. We go for a nice walk or something.
Lovely, yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people that I know that have had cancer that have survived have said to me, like, cancer was a blessing. Like, to me, I feel like it was a blessing as well, because if my mum wouldn't have died of cancer, I'd probably still be, I'm still a bit of a little shit, but like I'd be a massive little shit. Do you know what I mean?
Not as bad.
I'm not at all. Not like, just, it completely changed my life. Like her death completely opened me up to so many different avenues of like my behaviour. I started to feel like she was watching me all the time, and I just wanted to like make her be more happy with what I was doing with my life. Yeah. So cancer has touched me in that way, but what a lot of they just, people say to me, it was a blessing. Cancer was a blessing. People who've survived it and gone down a holistic route, they've said, I'm so happy that this happened, because it wouldn't have put me in.
It's opened other doors.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think you're right. I think it has done for me. It's made me realise just how precious life is.
Yeah.
And how special life is. And and also, I don't worry over the little things. It's a book, and it's fantastic for anybody who worries about little things. It's a great book. It's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. Yeah. And I read that, and it made me realise, somebody bought it for me. And I thought, wow, all those little things you worry about, and then something huge comes along, and they say, you might have less than a year to live, and you suddenly go, wow, But
until we realise that we're worrying about small things, we don't realise that the small things. It's having that light bulb moment. It is a light bulb moment. Shit, like I'm shouting at people in a car next to me for cutting me up. They've not gone out of their way to cut me up. They've not looked at me and gone, see him there, I'm going to go and cut him up. They've probably just like been distracted, or that's the little things to like be reacting. Like what they teach us in yoga and what they teach in Vipassana is to be, not react, react with an equanimous mind, like, have an understanding. That person's, person who cut you up, the wife might have died that morning.
Exactly.
Anything could have happened.
Anything could have happened.
They've not done it personally to you.
We're very quick to judge, aren't we, sometimes?
And quick to take things personally.
And I think, and when you have a wake-up call, you sort of step back from that a little bit. But also, I think, listening to inspirational people helps an awful lot. Makes you... 20, 30 years, 40 years ago, I never looked at inspirational books or things like that. I was so busy bringing up family and children and working full time and everything, and just getting on with life. And it was something that was a bit sort of then, but now,
especially in Manchester, in an industrial place, it's
totally
got this macho male energy all around it.
And it was all a little bit sort of hippie or a bit, out there.
She's not wearing a tie-dye costume today.
But now it's like, wow, I wish I'd sort of cottoned on to a lot of what I think now a long time ago.
Yeah, but I guess it just all comes at the right time, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. So what was that book again? Do you know who that book was by?
It's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. We'll find it. We'll put that in the show notes as well.
But that is a great book to read.
Yeah, cool. So tell us some of your adventures in your camper van. What's been happening? Where have you been going?
Well, I've had some great fun in the camper van. It's been good fun. I don't always sleep in it. I have to be very, very honest with you here. I bought it basically for... I can get from a driver's seat into the back of the camper van without getting out of the van. And that was a biggie for me because it meant I could drive without my leg on. Mm-hmm. Because I drive with my left leg, so I can take my prosthetic leg off and sling it in the back, and I'm very comfortable, and I can drive for miles, which I do, to Southampton. And I can also pull the bed down, and I can pull in at the services, and I can have a rest. I can have a bit of a lie down, a bit of siesta. I can make myself a cup of coffee. I got a little loo in it if I need that. And so I bought it really to make me feel secure in my own little world when I went out without a leg on, because some days my leg hurts a lot and I can only walk on it for maybe a couple of hours or an hour. So, okay. So, but I've been to Cornwall. It's been on the beach. I've had picnics in it. And next year I hope to use it an awful lot more than I've done this year, because this year it's been a bit of a learning process to learn to drive again.
And it has pissed it down all summer, to be fair.
And we've not had the best of weather, have we? So next year I'm going to use that a lot more. But yeah, it's a great thing to have.
Yeah. So what do you still have faith in? What is your faith?
Me.
In you?
Yeah.
As the
absolute faith in me.
There's a Viking saying, isn't it? Create your own reality. Is that something that you...
I just have faith in myself.
Yeah, that you can overcome anything.
Yeah. And I keep trying and I keep winning. And my name's Wynn. So Wynn's a winner.
Wynn's a winner, yeah.
At the moment.
You're definitely winning. You keep smiling. You keep smiling and laughing all the time.
All the time.
Even if you can just force it, like these days when you feel terrible and you go out and you just go, I'm just going to put a smile on.
Yeah.
And it improves your mood, doesn't it?
Without
Even though it's not
doubt.
what you're feeling, and you're just like, and you're amazing at doing that.
Yeah, I try.
Which is powerful. And like even in a lot of meditations, they say just have a smile on. I don't have to be meditating seriously, so come out of it and I'm kind of like, I'm a really serious meditator. It's like you can be a happy-go-lucky meditator as well. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Of course you can. Yeah.
So things that you're like investing or you're interested in, like a scene that you were supporting, like the ocean cleanup recently. Is that a project or like a charity that's...
It's somebody, a great friend of mine had a birthday and she was raising money for it, and I thought it was a fantastic idea. Yeah. So I actually contributed to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all for, let's clean the ocean up.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing thing.
Getting rid of all this plastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So
a lot of people seem to be doing that for the birthdays and that. Like, don't get me a present, just donate to this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would... For anything like that, I tend to go for Maggie's.
Maggie's.
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody's got any spare money, please send it to Maggie's, because I really, really do appreciate everything they do for so many people.
And especially if you're in Manchester, because there's a good chance you will be touched by cancer at some point, or someone in your life will be. That's kind of just like the odds of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know anyone who's not been touched by it. Or,
No. My mum died when she was 52 of cancer. My brother, the following year, died at 34 with cancer.
Wow.
So my family's been touched quite a lot.
Yeah.
Sadly, they lost their fight, but, I'm fighting for them now.
Amazing. And you're doing a good job at it.
Yeah, thanks.
Definitely.
Ian.
Like, your smile lights up rooms, it's just like so mesmerizing. And sometimes I don't know how you have it on your face, how you can muster up the energy to kind of,
it's just natural,
open your door, which when she opens the door a lot slower now than she used to. Right, Wynn. So I just want to, like, before we start wrapping up the show and stuff, I just want to take you back before the cancer, growing up as a kid. What were you like? Because what I'm trying to get at is, where was this change to a more spiritual life, a more connected life, I want to go down a holistic approach, more towards I'm ready to go and see a healer? Because most people I know who are normal, if you say to them a healer, they just look at you as if you're a fucking alien. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They look at you as if you're a complete idiot. And how would you believe in anything like that? So where did you go from being a normal girl growing up in Manchester to this woman who was ready to go and see a healer? Just talk me through that.
Well, I don't think I ever sort of specifically thought about it. It just naturally came about, really. A couple of my girlfriends were quite spiritual. One of my girlfriends in particular, Carol, did healing. And she was actually the girl that introduced me to Andrew in Southampton, or told me about him anyway. And when Carol used to go to healers and everything, I have to admit, and she would agree, that I thought she was a bit cuckoo.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right in what you say. It was
growing
sort of
up
a bit alien.
Yeah. So in your family, there was nothing like.
Nobody ever did anything like that in my family. My family were all sort of, from Manchester and hardworking, and I was a gobby kid that went to the monastery in Manchester, and but I was always very confident and never shy.
Yeah.
I was always out there on the stage at school singing and putting myself out there, and then work-wise, always, I left school and became a hairdresser.
Yeah.
And then a beauty therapist. Then I owned my own hairdressing salon in Manchester. And then I got married, had 2 children, and then totally changed my career.
Yeah.
And into a more business line. So
all this healing was just completely would have been foreign to you.
Totally foreign to me.
And your friend doing it, you thought she's a bit mad.
Thought she was a bit odd.
Yeah.
And then I started to really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And think, why close that box off? Why are you sort of so certain in your mind that it won't work?
Yeah.
Or, it's an odd thing. Why do that? Open your mind to it. And I think that was basically it. One day I thought, open your mind to it.
Yeah.
There are other things. And I think my parents, my dad in particular, would think anything like that was cuckoo.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't mention anything like that to Dad, because he'd say, well, load of crap.
Yeah, they can't get their head around it. Yeah.
You can't, stupid and all of that. And so I think I grew up thinking that.
Well, you're completely
conditioned.
Yeah, you can socially conditioned by your parents, by society, whatever you're born into.
And then I think suddenly I thought, well, look into this.
Yeah.
Have a think about it. Can't do any harm. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's been amazing. Yeah. Absolutely, and I love it. Love it now. Amazing. I read so much on it, and I'm inspired by it now.
And just what resistance did you get from family members? Because myself and my friends, we got so much resistance from people when we started changing our life to a more spiritual path. People thinking we were idiots, people thinking we'd lost the plot. Did you experience any of that?
I didn't actually. I think when I wanted to go to the healer in Southampton, I think my boys were probably a little bit sceptical.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a long way to go, and drive all that way, Mum, for what? But it's something I believed in, and so they went along with me not with me, they didn't come with me, but they went along with what I was doing. And I think they thought, great, go for it.
Yeah.
And then they could not believe when the oncologist saw all those little tumours disappear, because it is unbelievable. And a lot of people will think, well, it's coincidence. It might be. Who knows? We don't know. But I'm just telling you my story and what happened to me.
Because it could have been a little mouse that crawled inside you, bit all the cancer out of your lung and then just disappeared.
It could.
You know.
Yeah, it could. So whatever it was, it happened to me. And I'd say to anybody that's in my position, give it a go. Have a try.
Yeah, try everything.
Yeah, have a try.
And I guess that's been the main crux of this podcast, is just like, keep a positive attitude.
Yeah.
Keep going. Try new things. People in our society is so like, we don't have any ownership of our illness. We go to the doctor and we think everything they say is gospel. Most people think that.
Absolutely.
And it's like, how do I take ownership of my own health? How do I tap into my own body? You know, your body can tell you everything. And sometimes like a disease can be a mental block. It can be stuff that we've not worked through. It can be trauma, you know. And friends of mine, parents who have got cancer and they've just gone to the doctor and they've just done everything the doctor's told them because they don't know anything else. My mum was the same. Like, I wasn't into any of this when my mum died. And the reason I'm into it is because she did die. So I can't say I wish I knew what I knew now, because it's not possible. It would never happen. It's happened the way it has. But it's people trying new things and going that extra mile, like you did. You drove to Southampton, bloody hell, you know what I mean? Where have you got to go to get your health?
It was an 8-hour round trip, and you know, I truly believe, I agree with every word you've just said, Liam, and I truly believe that if I'd have gone down the chemotherapy route, I would not be here. And that is my personal. I'm not saying to anybody out there, don't have chemotherapy. Absolutely not. It's your own personal choice, decision, whatever. And, you know, some chemotherapies are extremely successful with certain types of cancer. For sarcoma cancer, not so good. Personally, for me. And I took my health into my own hands, and I truly believe that I'm still here because of it.
Yeah. And that's what people need to do is, you know, chemo can work great for people.
Yes.
But have a look into what your illness is. Have a look into alternative things.
And sometimes chemo and healing, whatever, you know, is right for you. Go with your gut feeling.
But take some ownership. Take
some ownership of how you want to look after yourself. Without a doubt.
And what you put into your body, what you do with your body, you know. We don't go and put crap fuel into, you don't start putting vegetable oil in your car, do you?
No, I changed my diet. I became a lot healthier in my eating habits. And all those little tweaks, all help, I feel. Yeah,
you still smash the champagne though.
Oh, absolutely. A girl needs champagne. Good news or bad? Good news or bad news? A girl needs champagne.
So... Cool. Yeah. So thank you, Wynn. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thanks for inviting us into your home.
A great pleasure.
I hope people can get some inspiration from your story. How they can't is beyond me, because it's such an amazing story, what you've been through and how you've kept that smile, how you've kept that positive attitude, how you've started listening to these inspirational teachers. And these inspirational teachers, we didn't used to have access to them, but now you don't have to go to India. You can just watch it on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Take something from it. You can take something from everyone. Like, keep looking for those nuggets of wisdom, then sparks of inspiration. It could be a man that you just see on the street who's not got any food, and he says something to you and it can change your outlook on something forever. You know, like we were talking about scientists, and they don't believe in this certain things and healing. Einstein, the main G of scientists, like, all he talks about is energy and how a song can change your perception of something forever. It can change the makeup of your DNA. Like, he's the main G in science, like, that we all talk about. And that's what he was talking about.
Absolutely. You're so right. Totally agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. And that is a great great way to end.
Yeah, so just have your eyes open, look for those sparks, look for those conversations.
Completely.
People who you don't think can teach you anything usually can teach you the most.
They can.
So just keep your eyes open. So that is Wynn Carter. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Pleasure,
It's
Leah.
been amazing to sit down and have a conversation with you.
It's been great to tell you.
And so coming up next on the show, we've got a yoga teacher called Matt Ryan who owns Yoga Manchester. He's been teaching yoga in Manchester for 20 years. He's pretty famous. He's an amazing guy. Used to be a DJ in the Hacienda. Used to, do what DJs did. So we're going to get his story. He's living in LA at the moment, so this isn't a video interview. Oh no, it is going to be a video interview actually. I'm going to record it over the internet, but it's not going to be live. It's going to be my first non-live interview. So we just want to get his story, the nuggets of wisdom that he got, where it came from, how his transformation took place. Just wow, magnificence. And what a woman, what a absolute soldier, stronger than soldiers. She's just, oh man, I can't even put it into words how that woman blows me away. But she's just so inspiring, so bubbly, and I'm absolutely in love with her. Wow, just, you can probably tell I'm a little lost for words, which isn't very often for me. But thank you so much, Wynn Carter. Thank you for having us in your home. Thank you for being such a bloody inspiration, for keeping going, for that smile, for that laughter, for that wisdom. You're incredible. Thanks to all the people at Maggie's, all the people that we mentioned at Pace. Thank you for all the things you're doing for people struggling with cancer. It's magnificent. But Wynn, you're an absolute star of the show. So thank you. Anyone who's listening, please, send some messages to Wynn, just loving messages, because she's fabulous. So this is the Dealer to Healer podcast. Get yourself to Amazon. Go and buy Dealer to Healer, a modern tale of a fucked up male. It's free today for 5 days from the 11th of November. Then it won't be free ever again. Well, maybe, but probably not for a very, very long time. So please get over to Amazon, get the book for free. If you do get it for free, just do me the favour. Just please give me a review, because I want to do this. I want to do this full time. I want to be podcasting. I want to be writing books. I want to be helping people. Like, my mission is to help as many humans as possible step into the fullest version of themselves, for them to be empowered, for them to be strong, to be like full power man, Harry Ram. So yes, Amazon, get my book, Dealer to Healer. Go and get it on print. You can get the audio book so you can hear my beautiful voice speaking out my whole book, darling. I do it in a very posh, middle-class English accent so people can understand me a little bit better. Do I bollocks? It's in this voice, so you have to be, if you can understand me on this podcast, you can understand it on there. But yeah, thank you so much to Wynn. Thank you guys for listening, and keep coming back. These are going to be coming thick and fast, and the guests are just epic. So have a beautiful day. Namaste, peace and love. Take it easy. Booyah. You to bless my soul. Thank you so much for listening to the Dealer to Healer podcast. Please stay tuned for more episodes of transformation, of metamorphosis, of people becoming the most beautiful version of themselves, and teaching you, the listeners, how to become the most beautiful version of yourself. So if you want all that information, all that knowledge, all these amazing guests that I've got on my show, please subscribe. There's a subscribe button somewhere on this screen, so please just link onto that. You'll get a notification straight away of any new episodes, and I promise you, I've got epic guests coming up, so please stay tuned. If you want to know anything else about the Dealer to Healer movement, of what I've got going on, about my links to the book, links to my website, links to my music, everything, please go in the description below. It's just down there somewhere. You just hit description and it'll tell you everything. So nice one. Have a beautiful day. Take it easy, and remember, please subscribe. That would be amazing. Peace.